What's up, guys? Welcome back to Brick Trick Sale. Hey, I just want to sit down and talk a little bit about my journey with Lego, how I got started with it, do I have sets from my childhood, things like that. And this kind of comes more up from a previous video where I mentioned I wanted to talk about some of this stuff. And then Sophie asked a question. Her question was, do you still have the first Lego sets that you got as a child? She goes on to explain that she sold her Lego thinking it wouldn't have much value secondhand and whatnot, and now is currently trying to find sets again from the 80s and the 90s, but they're very expensive. And that is true, that is the case. So this video, I'm just going to kind of talk about that a little bit, show off some sets that I do have, some of my favorite sets from when I was a child. So let's get into it. All right, so do I still have sets from my childhood? Yes. I got started with Lego from my grandpa. We went and visited, and they were collectors of dolls actually, and went to shows and sold like dolls back in the day. But they also had some Legos, and one time we were there and I was bored and they got out the Legos, and this was probably, I don't know, like 6, 7, somewhere in there. And then I started asking for Legos after that continuously. And I really wanted them, and so one year for Christmas, and I know there's a picture, I just don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. If I do, I'll put it in the video. My parents got on eBay and ordered just a huge box of assorted Legos somebody was selling, just their random, bits and pieces. And there's a picture of me after I opened it. I poured it on the ground and I'm just laying in it. I'm just like covered in Legos, and so it was very awesome, and I loved that. And through that box of Legos, a lot of sets came out of that I was able to piece together and whatnot. Now, as I'm older, I finally started to separate and part out my collection in pieces so it's easier to use. And I came to realize a lot, maybe half of that box was mega blocks or things of that nature. So I didn't know as a kid. My parents probably didn't know. So that was a little bummer that I thought I had all these great pieces, or Lego, and a lot of it isn't even Lego. So from that though, there's a few sets that I have that I really like. One's actually just right up here, and I don't even think it's fully complete, but I'll grab it so I can show you one of the ones that came from it. So here it is. I don't actually know what this was called. I looked it up one time, but I can't remember, and I don't know if I have it fully completed, but this, to the best of my knowledge, is pieces that go with the set. So you have this, the rocket, and then of course, little spot they can stay. So this is an older set, and so these were some of the pieces that were in there, and I kind of pieced it together based off of either instructions I did have, and I realized the set was in there, or I just like found it, located it, and started building it. So that's one. Now my ultimate favorite set, okay, so my favorite set that I have from that is actually right up there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll grab it, bring it down, and I'll also show you this set. Okay, so I have this set here, and as you can see, this is definitely an older set. It's very dusty. I need to do a better job. But this was one of the sets, and I didn't realize, and I started to put it together, piece it together, and I realized I had like pretty much the whole thing. I don't think I'm really missing anything. Maybe the string that's actually supposed to be on here. But yeah, this set is not cheap anymore. This is like a very hard set to come by, or maybe not to come by, but to come by for a good price, I should say. So I absolutely love this set, and this was one of the ones. And once I've built it a few years ago, probably 8 to 10 years ago, I built this, and I've just kept it. This is El Dorado's Fortress is what it's called. I actually thought that was the like cowboy themed one, which, speaking of which, that's like my most highly sought after set. So one last time, get you Lego Western Fort Legorido. I don't know, I'm saying that so wrong. But that's the set I really want. Set number 6769. I'll put a picture. That's like my most sought after set right now. I would love to get that set. I've always thought that's a super cool set. So hopefully one day I'll get that set. Some of the other sets you see up there are just sets I've picked up over time. This one goes back to a childhood. The other set that I've been putting together as I kind of find the pieces, this guy. So this is the Fire Breathing Fortress set. I have the dragon, I have the people, I have everything. I'm still like trying to locate and find pieces as I kind of sort things. And I do think I am missing some, so I'll probably just bricklink them and get the pieces if I can't just use ones I have. But like, I don't think this blue's correct. I couldn't find the other black one, so I just stuck blue in there, right? But yeah, so here it is. Right now as it stands, I messed with this like months, maybe a year ago, and it's just been sitting now since. So getting dusty again. So that's another one that I had from my childhood, that apparently I have pieces for. Otherwise, I just have things that I randomly have built. You know, I still have them together here because sometimes it's hard, but like, I don't know, I built this. Now this bottom piece is definitely not Lego, but I don't know, I thought it would be fun to build like a ship that you could put I don't know. So just random things. Like, eventually I built this truck in high school, or what was supposed to be more of like a truck. So just pieces, not so much sets. So because my parents bought just like one large box, I don't necessarily have sets besides the ones I was able to put together. So really it's like those two main sets that I know of. Otherwise there's probably sets within it. I just haven't bothered to fully build them. So more it was just a lot of pieces, and I did pretty much keep them all because I always loved Legos, and I knew I wasn't going to sell them. I was going to keep them for my kids. Now I fell out of Legos for the majority of my high school years, mainly just didn't have money to buy them, and I just wasn't interested, so they were just kind of stored at that time. College, I wanted to get back into it. Again, didn't have money. And then when I got my job, that's what really drove me back into it. I started having some money for Lego, so I got back into it, and that was only 3.5, 4 years ago at this point, is when I probably started it up again. I mean, briefly at the end of my college, I did 2 years at the college I was at. That's just how it worked out. I thought I would do 2 more. Ended up going right into the workforce. But yeah, so I think around like the end of my last year at college, I started a little bit with some little sets. I was like, oh, I'll get that, right? And then from there, it just, once I got the job, it just kept going. So yeah, probably like 4 years now I've been back at it collecting. And then I've been doing the brick link since last year. So probably just over a year of brick linking. So as you see some of the stuff that I got going on. So that's kind of the gist. I totally understand what Sophie's saying about finding sets from then, from the 80s, 90s. They are so expensive. Like the set I just told you that I would love to get my hands on, Lego Western Fort. Right now I see used on eBay $550. You know, it's just crazy. So, and the El Dorado one, I see that one right now anywhere from $285, $300. There's a $617. Seems a little far-fetched compared to everybody else's prices. So yeah, like I know this set is worth a little something. But yeah, so that's kind of answers that. Like that's how I got into it. That's when I fell out of it, when I came back. And at this point now, kind of doing the YouTube thing, because I just felt like, why not? Let me share my Legos. And one of the big things has to be Brickitect. I don't know why that was so hard to think of. Brickitect. Watching him build with his son, you know, I figured, you know what? That's why I kept my Legos. So when I have kids, and we're getting to that point where we're gonna be starting a family here soon. I've been married almost 2 years, so we're gonna, you know, she's constantly asking, when are we gonna do this? When are we gonna have a baby? So I thought it'd be fun to start a YouTube channel to kind of do the same thing in a sense of, you know, build and get, hope my children want to like get into the same hobby and just filming and hanging out with them. So I don't want to steal Brickitect's channel or be Brickitect by any means. He's the guy. They got a great thing going, but he inspired me to do something similar, and just kind of the journey of collecting Legos, and eventually with my kids and with my family, and see how it goes. And who knows if this goes on that long. So it's probably been a long enough video at this point. If you want to know more about some of the topics I said, or you know, a more in-depth review of this. Let me get it dusted off or something. But yeah, so that's kind of that. If you have questions, I mean, I don't mind answering questions, doing a video once a week or once a month with the questions that come through. I also just want to say a big thank you for the 15 subscribers. We're at 15. You know, the goal is 1,000 by the end of the year to give away a Best Spin Duel set. And I'll post that. I'll link that video right here. But you know, if we don't get it, I'm not worried, because I enjoy watching us grow little by little right now. 15 is a big milestone for me. I'm very happy about that. I can't wait to get to 20 and just keep going. But everyone, 16 will be a big deal. 17 will be a big deal to me. So I definitely appreciate every subscriber and everyone watching. So thank you so much. And hopefully the next video I will do more of in-depth of my Lego collection and show you a bit of that. I know someone asked about that. I've just kind of been waiting for people to kind of ask for the stuff to put it out, so that I know like somebody wants to see it. So I'll do a Lego collection, a room tour, Bricklink store type thing, and so on. I also want to put out a video eventually of the clown, the little clown sets. I think Sophie asked to see a little review of that, so I'll do that at some point too. So again, thank you everyone. Yeah, just much appreciate. Take care. We'll see you next time. See ya.